All right. Not going to delay
fairy
it
tales
anymore. I do not want to fall out of favor with the queen here. So we are going to move into our last segment here, which we've been doing every Tuesday whenever Emily comes and joins us. I've been a regular guest here on the Halftime Report for a couple of months on Tuesdays. That's her slot. And we have been playing this little game called the Queen's Court, where the other coaches have to bring analysis and a pick and present it to the queen and see if she likes it or not.
I want to go first.
Last week, you want to get your head chopped off?
Listen, I've adjusted.
The queen.
You learned. You
I scolded him. I scolded him a lot last week, Matt, when you weren't here, and I think he went back and took deep thoughts and
listen.
Came back
the week before, you cut his head off and then stared at him.
He brought me some salmon company that GMOs that I can't. I should have chopped his head off.
It was a mistake.
This is one of those where the queen the next day realized her mistake, called him back into court and chopped his head off. So.
I left to do something. It's all right. So, all right, I got a pick for you. Now, I still I don't have a lot of tech, but one of the areas of tech, and I'm probably not going to dive into a lot of tech. One of the areas of tech I like right now is semiconductors. Now, semiconductors have been caught into this whole algo, raising higher yields, tech sells off, kind of like you're having today type stuff. But I like tech. Specifically semiconductors moving forward. It's tied into that cyclical theme. And I also like, things that have been beat up in the lower end of their ranges. And let's pull up AMD. Let's pull up AMD. Now, AMD, and if you you put this on a weekly chart, because we've been trading in this sideways trend for like 9 months now. I love sideways trend, I call them multi-month consolidation patterns. In commodities, multi-month consolidation patterns are very common, but they're a lot more common in stock than new traders might like to think. And I really like multi-month consolidation patterns when you're at support. I like to play the edges. I like to play the breakouts of resistance like you had on Lowe's recently, like you had on Home Depot recently. I like those type of multi-month consolidation breakouts where you get, so I like to play the edges. I like to play down at support, and I like to play breakouts of resistance. So here we are in an area of the market that's been beat up, tech, that still plays into the cyclical theme. Company that I think we can all agree on that we've liked AMD. We've liked AMD for years. It's a tackle trading favorite. And here we are coming down, understanding the price action of the last 6 weeks, why it got pushed down. Didn't get pushed down because people hate AMD. Tech got pushed down. Tech got pushed down. And you're coming down now to this lower end of the range where you've had a support level tested multiple times. Now, one of the reasons I like playing at the edges on support here is that if support breaks, I have an easy trade management decision. I can close out the trade, take a small loss. I can buy a protective put. I can sell an aggressive call. I have all kinds of defensive or just closing out the trade management decisions I can do. And I have a very clear line in support in which triggers that defensive trade management. So here we have AMD, well-known company, at multi-month support in an area of the market that maybe yields come down, right? Tech goes up. Maybe the semiconductors separate themselves. There's a lot I like about this chart, a lot I like about the company moving forward. Emily, I didn't bring you fishies, and I didn't bring you any trash. I brought you.
Brought you the biggest high flyer in the semiconductor sector, AMD, that likes to get lit on fire. I love it.
So, I love it. Can I interest you in a reversal or a support bounce play on AMD?
Em?
This is an easy one. Of course you may. You are learning, my dear.
Everybody.
And he said all the key things. It's a tackle favorite. We've had it on DSM for many, many years now. Love that support on the weekly. You can do so many things with AMD, if you so good job, Mark.
I look forward to the day.
So well.
I look forward to the day where AMD can actually be a real boy and be a tackle 25 component.
Right.
But we're not there yet.
We're not there yet.
We're still growth. We're still growth, baby.
So we'll just DSM the bad boys until it grows up.
You know, Mark, I loved what you said. I like to play the edges. That rang true to me because I like to play the edges too. And I totally understood what you were meaning there. The edges of support versus the edges of resistance in this consolidation, right? You love picking up cheap risk here. And I see this as cheap risk. That's how I see AMD.
That's how I see it.
And the reason I see it that way, Mark, is that stop loss has to be tied against 74. Mm-hmm. If it violates 74, it's 60. There's nothing there. You buy
a protected put, you close out your trade, whatever you want to do.
Either way, right? Either way, if you want to hold it and sell against it, then you buy a put option. If you don't, just get out. But either way I see it, I see you got cheap risk. You buy the support bounce, you put a stop loss underneath 74, you take that defined, right? You take that defined risk. And then ultimately, if we ever get something deeper to 60, I actually really like AMD long term at 60. I don't love AMD long term at 75. I just like it. I love it if it comes down here long term. Mm-hmm. So you got this massive just wilderness of nothing here. It doesn't matter if you put a stop loss at 69. It doesn't matter if you put a stop loss at 64. The most likely occurrence is if anything gets under 74, 64 is going to get hit the same way 69 is going to get hit. Because you don't have any support between 74 and $60. There's nothing there. It's no man's land. Literally, guys, we're looking at a weekly chart here. There's nothing there. That's no man's. Now, if I go back historically, there's not a whole lot there either because AMD's all-time highs here. So there's nothing here, which means the damn breaks is probably coming down to the foundation. No doubt about that one. So I like cheap risk here on AMD. I love the analysis of playing the edges. I love that. Because when you're set at 85 on AMD with an overhead range of 100 and under 74, there's nothing to do there. There's nothing to see there. There's no sexy trade there. There's no cheap risk there. There's no good price appreciation. It's literally no man's. Here, cheap risk, good return if you get it back up to 100. I like it.
I love it. And look at those candles, in those last 3 weeks, just kind of decreasing as it's getting to that support zone. Love it.
AMD at support, cheap risk. You don't love the probability. This isn't one of your let's sell a naked put 10 delta and get 90% probability. No, even if it's 50-50, mm-hmm. Even if it's 40% probability, the return justifies the cheap risk.
Mark survives. He now sits back and lurks into the corner.
Now I'm scared.
I'm sitting next to the queen, Mark. You actually get to sit next to me, and we get to judge the other two.
Queen, who do you want to go next?
No, absolutely not.
Mark is now judging with me, and we get to figure out who we're going to chop off next.
I actually get to sit on a chair?
Yes, come sit next to me. Gosh. Come sit next to me. Let's judge the next.
Emily, you don't know what you just unleashed.
My queen,
this was Pandora's box.
I respect your wisdom.
I am your advisor, Em. This is not a good move. This is bad for me.
I'm the queen. I get to decide who gets to sit next to me. So,
a little saucy over there.
Let's see who's gonna go next.
All right, I'll go next. All right. I do have Facebook. And no, I do not like Facebook term. I don't like the company. I'm not a fan of the company.
I know that.
But like Mark tells me all the time it is really painful for me. But like Mark tells me all the time about Goldman Sachs, why do I hate Goldman Sachs, Mark? Because they're a bunch of unethical, illegal individuals.
Unethical, and they're good.
But they know how to make money in their unethical ways,
and this is what I've said about Zuck. And Tim's inner voice just said, I hate Zuck. I'm going to tune this whole thing.
Zuck.
Zuck cares about money.
Devil.
And you might not like Zuck as a human being. You might be like, I would never want to have a beer with Zuck. I mean,
hold on.
A beer with Zuck.
Wait, Mark, the only thing I disagree with, you called him a human being. He's not. He's an alien.
But Zuck cares about money. He likes money.
Listen, you bet on aliens, right? You bet on aliens. So in looking at this, I'm going to start with where Mark kind of left off talking about those edges, right? And when he was talking about those edges, AMD's down here. This is AMD right here. this is where you want AMD to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's exact what's happening here. The only difference on Facebook versus AMD is AMD's here, Facebook's here. Facebook's 2 weeks in front of AMD. That's what's happening. Okay. Now, so you got it. And based on that, do you like AMD a little bit more? I do.
Of course.
Right? I do. I'm like, yeah. Now that I see Facebook do it, of course AMD can do it. If Facebook can do it, AMD can. Yeah, 100%. Now, Mark, if AMD does that, okay, Tim, let me come to you real quick. Mm-hmm. Okay. Let's say AMD holds 74, does the exact same thing Facebook does, and goes back into resistance, okay? Mm-hmm. And then consolidates a little against resistance. If AMD did this, who here would be lining up for the breakout of $100?
Every person on the planet.
That's in the world.
Jesse Livermore special. Yep.
Right. In the world. Okay. Well, guys, that's what the difference isn't 100, it's 300. It's the same analysis. You have a wide range neutrality where you're playing the edges. AMD's at the support edge. Facebook's at the resistance edge. You have 2 weeks of consolidation after you hit that 300 channel. Now let's go to that intraday chart because we don't like things that run fast and aggressive into a breakout, do we? Why don't we like that? It gets overextended and tired. I get tired. I don't have the same energy I once did. It gets tired. And look at that. It gets tired. Line went red. That shows it's tired. It gets tired. It gets above that band.
Matt, your mic is cutting out.
I've got 3 mics. I don't think it's a mic problem at this point. The point is, I'll finish very quickly. It gets tired. Bullish retracement. Now your starting point is 278, the breakout channel of 300. You went from 254 to the breakout channel 300. You couldn't do it. Now you're running from 278 to that breakout channel. On the breakout of 300 with the increase in support. What do you say?
I can almost hear what you were saying, but I know you well enough, and I can look at the trend lines there and see what you were looking at there. I like it. I don't love that your mic cut out, so the rest of the team didn't get to hear it. However, I do like that breakout at 300. Not as much as I love that AMD, but it's enough to allow you to survive another week.
Now, do we allow him to survive with the mic problems, Queen?
Not with the mic problem. If he comes back next Tuesday with the mic problem, we're chopping his
You
head.
can be in the court and be completely mute as you bring good picks.
Hold on. This is a visual identification. You don't need audio.
Don't need audio. Yep.
Yeah.
Don't need the audio. I love it.
I think we caught most of it though, and I think we caught enough to really understand the context here. Obviously, the longer term consolidation, the run up into it, the RSI was overstretched, but now it was tired, took a little bit of a pause and a break, and that long term breakout does allow Matt to survive for this week at least.
For this week.
Mark, you were on the judging panel up here though. I mean, do you want to influence the Queen at all?
No, it's a great pick. Listen, you play at the edges. I mean, on consolidation, and when you get these multi-month consolidation patterns, when you play at the edges, it can just do wonders because there are so many traders, and let's imagine that hypothetically that SPACs and the market and everything trades sideways for 8 months, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to have so many traders say this market sucks, this market's more. Listen, the market is what the market is. It is up to you to adjust to what it gives you. And yes, anyone can make money when stocks, everything is going straight up because I'm a great trader. No, the market will give you what it gives you. These consolidation patterns, you play at the edges. And when they come at whole numbers like 300 here, how do you not like it, right?
Mm-hmm. And I absolutely love, both, being on opposite sides, right? One's, sitting at support, the other one sitting at resistance. And, the outcome will be the same, whether it, finds support and bounces off of that to that resistance level and then continuation pattern with that breakout, or Facebook sitting there trying to break that 300. Can't go wrong with either one.
I like it. Well, now I'm a little bit nervous because I feel like the queen always wants to at least kill somebody. And you guys both survived the first 2 rounds. My queen, I have Walmart for you this week, and I will explain the analysis here. Several things that I like about it. It's an odd pattern from some perspectives, but you got to think about Walmart more of a longer term position play, not a short term necessarily swing trade all the time. And here we are with a pattern that as you look at it, you're going to get context as to what has been happening in the rest of the space. Give me XLP if you can real quick, Matt. Part of the Walmart analysis starts with consumer staples. It starts with the idea that the sector is now improving. It's been upgraded. In fact, the tackle trading coaches last week upgraded it into the bullish ranking for the first time in some time after a long consolidation playing at the edges, as we've been talking about, knocked on the door, broke out. We anticipate further upgrades in XLP if it can stabilize up here and develop a higher pivot low. Back through a couple of charts. Now, Walmart, this one is underperforming its sector, and it's playing catch up to some of the other names that are comparable to the types of a Walmart here. Look at Procter & Gamble real quick, PG. PG, similar pattern Walmart was in 2 weeks ago, broke out, took off. Okay. Look at Pepsi, PEP. Same thing. It was under pressure under the 200, broke above a pivot, took off. Now it's running up towards its resistance. But I think the best comparable is going to be a Costco because of so similarities in their business models of what they're doing. It's almost identical pattern as to what was happening at Walmart now with Costco, say a couple weeks ago. Coach Tyler even highlighted this on one of the weekly trade masters, I believe, as a reversal type of candidate and a reversal kind of pick. And back to the Walmart analysis. It's very simple. I believe the queen respects consistent revenue growth, and making money. You got to fill those coffers for the kingdom. You got to be able to pay down debt and bills and finance new projects and all kinds of things. Walmart is one of the best revenue companies in the entire world, quite frankly. They're doing over $500 billion a year, and they've had consistent revenue growth year over year over year for the better part of 6, 7, 8 years since the new CEO has come in and taken place. I love Walmart as a long-term equity play. I love Walmart as a defensive play against all kind of, balancing in the market. So people aren't just in momentum all the time. I think it's at a good spot technically, just from the reversal standpoint. This is my offer to you, my queen, Walmart.
I think the more time Matt goes Walmart, Costco, I start to see Walmart as Costco.
Same chart. I'm telling you, let me do it 10 more times. Same chart.
Yeah.
The only difference is Walmart's a week behind Costco. So if you got on Costco, you got to take Walmart one.
I really wanted to chop off somebody's head today, but I can't. I really wanted to. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean,
the cash
I'm not going to keep doing that until I say not chopping off your head. I cannot chop off your head with that comparison with Walmart and Costco. I mean, literally, that's what Walmart is gearing up to do.
One more time, Matt. I love this. Give
it's
me that
so
Costco.
Beautiful.
One more time.
Hold on. Let's do it the right way. Hold on. Costco. Oh no, we gotta. I'll get this. Okay. Imagine.
Hey, it ready? Is really a slow news day.
Ready?
Yeah.
Which one's which?
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's same chart. Costco's front running. Tyler's analysis was the leading analysis, and now Walmart's catching up to it.
Yeah, I really wanted to chop off somebody's head today, but I guess that's not going to happen. You all survive unless Mark wants to chop you off. I'm not chopping you off.
Oh, no, not chopping off Walmart.
I know Mark's not going to do it.
No, and when you look at this, like if you pulled up monthly candle, because when you get these choppy ranges, like it is sometimes hard to see, like the range. But when you look at it from a monthly perspective, you see that there's a support level there following a breakout, and that it's in a range. It has this, it's not this clean range, but like you see support lining up to where it was in April. You're still in that lower edge. And so, a company like Walmart, I love the pick.